These celebrations begin this weekend. The days of heavy drinking among students seem to be over. The latest DrinkWise data has revealed 9 out of 10 students from Schoolies surveyed last year engaged in activities that didn't involve alcohol. The DrinkWise CEO says it highlights a shift in the behaviour of young people as they celebrate their schooling efforts with friends. A survey also found 71% of Schoolies in 2023 enjoyed alcohol-free days on the beach. Well, joining us live is Dr Terry Goldsworthy, criminal expert in Queensland. Terry, great to see you. Yes, a big time for Schoolies heading your way as well, and many places around the country and overseas. But what are you seeing in terms of drinking and also pill testing, which is quite controversial?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, Schoolies is hit again, as it has for the many years in the past. Look, I'm not a fan of Schoolies as a rite of passage. I think we can give much more responsible messages to our young people when they leave school as to what it means to become an adult rather than the Schoolies adventure. And look, it has toned down over the recent years, but, last year there was 350 referrals to the emergency on-site medical centre, and 20 of those resulted in hospitalisations. So there is still an element of, danger or, risk to your young child going there. I mean, for instance, my daughter left school down here last year. We went overseas instead of going to Schoolies, or my wife and her did, so that's a better option. In terms of the pill testing, I don't support the pill testing regime at all. It is a backflip by the current newly installed government. They said that they would get rid of the pill testing at Schoolies. They haven't. It seemed to be something around a contract that they claimed was a problematic issue for them. I mean, the contract was worth $80,000. I wouldn't have thought it'd be that big an issue. The problem I have with pill testing is if you have a look at Pill Testing Australia's own website, as I did yesterday, it tells you that it can't render the pills you're taking safe. Yet, when we look at the data from the pill testing services, for instance, a festival we had up here early in the year where they used it, 93% of people who tested their pills went on to keep the pills and most likely take those pills. Yet the testing can't tell you exactly what substances are in there. It can't identify new substances necessarily using the mobile spectrometry equipment they use. So I think it sends out the message that it will make your drug taking safe, and it does anything but make your drug taking safe.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because a lot of people do think it is a good situation. The AMA in Queensland, Dr Nick Yim, is saying that 16% actually dispose of pills after getting tested. And then we've heard experts say that to go to the lengths that people do to purchase these drugs and then get to the end where they go and speak to a health professional and then decide then, it can potentially save lives. So it's a controversial one, definitely, but many people support it, many people don't.
Yeah, look, and I guess the background of this is that we've had police operations running up here for the last week or so, targeting the drugs that will go into Schoolies. And part of the context of that is that the former government decriminalised heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamines, and they are exactly the drugs that the police were pulling out of bikies last week that were destined for Schoolies. Drug taking is a low risk activity in Queensland at the moment. And that's why I think it's a really dangerous set of events that are occurring in terms of pill testing rolling out, decriminalising those drugs. Now, the current government, newly installed government, has said that they will roll back that decriminalisation for those hardcore drugs. So at the moment we have an environment up here for organised crime that is quite, beneficial. We have state-funded quality control in the form of pill testing for organised crime. And we also have 3 strikes before anything happens to you if you're using those hardcore drugs. Yet we spent hundreds of millions of dollars advertising how dangerous ice was in terms of its ability to make you addicted to it in a very short time frame. Yet we're saying you use it 3 times and nothing will happen. So those laws will be repealed very shortly. I think in November or December before the end of the year, the government's aiming to do that.
And we're just reading the Courier Mail today. It talks about increasing crime is really impacting the state's young doctors. They report that a third are frightened to walk between hospital buildings while on night shifts. How are these laws? I mean, the Crisafulli government is obviously very new, but what else are you hearing regarding what's going on with government?
Well, yeah, look, it's not surprising that medical personnel are getting targeted when they leave at night. They're vulnerable to those type of attacks. And we know we're at a 20-year high in the crime rate in Queensland. And I think property offences, or personal offences, went up about 6%, the personal offence rate. So in terms of crime up here, we have the new government going to put forward a Safer Queensland package of laws to address criminal justice failings of the previous government. One of that is, adult time, adult crime, which has been derided by many academics and many in the public sphere as well. To give an example of where that will make an impact is we had a young mother murdered 2 years ago, Emma Lovell. Now, both of her offenders have been dealt with. One was convicted after he pleaded guilty. He got 14 years. Now, he is appealing that sentence as being too harsh. Under the LNP laws, he will get 20 years minimum. He has to do 20 years. That's where those crimes with adult time will impact. The other issue to arise is the second offender walked free. And the state law of Queensland at the moment is that if you go into a house at night and someone is killed, as was in this case, she was stabbed to death, the judge had to be satisfied there was a common criminal purpose. He wasn't satisfied with that. He said, I thought that the second offender went into the house to merely steal things, where the first offender went into the house to steal things whilst armed. So therefore, the second offender wasn't liable for murder and walked free. I think that aspect of the law is something that will be or should be reviewed under the new government, that if you go into a house at night with another person to commit a offence of burglary, then you should be responsible for whatever happens in there. Otherwise, we're not going to get people to understand that you shouldn't be breaking into people's houses at night and then attacking them.
Yep, very good points indeed. Dr Terry Goldsworthy, we've got to wrap it up, but always great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jamie.